All right, I'm going to give you guys a quick synopsis of what goes on with tobacco. Just to give you an idea, and you'll see all this tomorrow. 1 gram of tobacco seed makes 10,000 plants. So it's very, very, very little. What they do is they take the seeds and they go to a nursery and they just spread it around by hand. And then they water it, and then you get a sprout about yay big, about an inch and a half tall, and they scrape them up. And then they take those plants and then they transplant them in the seed bed, 1 plant at a time, in trays of 96 holes. So imagine how tedious that is, taking 1 plant, kind of poke it with a toothpick, and then put the plant in there. All right? Now the tobacco stays there for 45 days. In 45 days, you'll have the tobacco in the seed beds, and the plant will get about yay big. My drawings aren't that good, but you get the idea of what's going on. All right, now you'll take that plant, and now you're going to transplant that into the tobacco fields. Okay? You'll take that plant and we'll physically transplant it into tobacco fields. And how the tobacco fields work is there's about a 2-degree slope. There's 3 feet between rows and about 17 inches between plants. And the reason the placentians figured out to do 17 inches, that way if you have it, if it's more than 17 inches, the leaves get too big. If it's less than 17 inches, the leaves get too small. All right, then you have the 3 feet here so people can walk and not damage the tobacco. And what they do is flood irrigation. They'll take pipes and they'll start flowing tobacco down here, and then they'll dike it off. And then they'll start on this end, dike this end off, then dike this end off, then dike this end off with that 2% slope. So everything is flood irrigation, because if you do the normal irrigation, you can have water damage to the tobacco leaves. So you try not to do that. That's why a lot of people don't grow in the rainy season. Placentias they might be the only ones. I don't know of anybody else who grows tobacco in the rainy season. So after 90 days, you're going to have a tobacco plant. And the plant kind of looks like this, where you have small leaves, and then they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then smaller and smaller. All right? And a plant is taken into 3 parts. So you have the bottom part of the plant is called seco. The middle part is called viso. And the top is called ligero. And just to let you know, sun-grown plants get up about 5 to 6 feet tall. When you grow tobacco in shade, which is under cheesecloth, they can get anywhere from 8 to 12 feet tall. All right, just to give you an idea. And all the tobacco we're going to see is sun-grown right now. Seco is very thin, mild tobacco. Viso is medium body in texture and medium bodied in flavor. And ligero is very thick tobacco, and that's where you get all the strength in your cigars. That's where all the power comes from. All right, and just to give you an idea, 1 plant will give you filler, binder, and wrapper. It's not like 1 plant is all filler and 1 plant is all binder. It's how you handle the tobacco. It's all a cosmetic look. If the tobacco is perfect, there's no holes in it, it's clean, it's a wrapper. If there's maybe a little water damage, then it's a binder. If it's broken tobacco, you use it as filler. All right? So after 90 days, they start picking the tobacco. And they pick it it's called a priming, 1 priming at a time. And if you, normally a sun-grown plant has 8 primings. The first week you'll take the first priming. Then you'll wait a week, you'll take the second priming. You'll wait another week, you'll take the 3rd priming. And you wait another week, another week, another week. So normally it takes another 8 weeks, which is 72, is that right? My math is right? 56. Is that right?
Yeah, 8 by 7, yeah.
So just to give you an idea, by the time you get to the ligeros, it's 56 days, we say about 145 days out in the field, just to pick the tobacco. And the reason you pick it that way, by priming, is you want the same thickness of tobacco, because it takes just as long to ferment the tobacco. All right, so the tobacco is picked there, and after 145 days, it goes to the curing barns. And you'll see the curing barns tomorrow. My drawings aren't that great, but you'll get an idea. And what we'll see in the curing barns is you're going to have poles like this, and then we'll hang the tobacco. You see all the tobacco being hung. And one strand, one pole holds, what, 96? 120 leaves. And they do them in tandems. What they do is they take the two leaves and they put them back, the mid vein back to back, so the tobacco doesn't stick together. And then they hang it up there at 120 leaves in the plant. And it stays there for another 45 days, more or less. All right? And after 45 days, that tobacco will turn from green to brown. And we'll bring it to this facility here. And what they're doing here, now out there in the barns it's called curing. Over here it's called fermenting the tobacco. And what they do is they bring it in by priming. And just so you know, out in the field it's all color coded. You'll see all these different color strings. Each string is a priming. So they already start sorting tobacco out there. All right, they'll bring it in here. And what they'll do is they'll shake it up like this, or it comes loose like this, and they'll put it in these pilons here. Called a pilon. It's about 2,500 pounds. And they'll fill it up, and then they'll check it daily. Over here. You look at this information. This tells you the date it was brought in, the priming, the number it is, or this is the number. I don't know what the hell this number is, to be honest with you. These are the pounds, and these are notes here. And they keep daily temperatures. Once the tobacco gets to 120 degrees, they have to turn it. It's called turning the tobacco. And what they do is they take the inside tobacco out and the outside tobacco in. The tobacco on top to the bottom, and the bottom tobacco to the top. If you don't do that, the tobacco will burn. And let me show you how they check that. Come see here, they got a thermometer right in the middle that goes in there. And right now this is at about 96 degrees. And there's a cardboard that they track it daily on. So you can check the temperature. And like I said, once it gets to about 120 degrees, they have to turn the power.